Welcome back. 2025 becoming the year of AI, seeing a wave of deal-making and record valuations in the space. Now that excitement spilling into a new boom of humanoid robots. Companies across the world ramping up production, securing billions of new funding to roll out these robots. Tesla aiming to build 5,000 Optimus bots this year. Chinese companies BYD and UB Tech targeting mass production by 2026. Some of these robots now priced below $10,000. Palo Alto-based 1X Technologies launched Neo, a humanoid already up for pre-order. Joining me now is Moonfire Ventures founder Mattias Ljungman. Mattias, you've been investing in AI and robotics for years, and you are looking at all sorts of different things. First, tell me about robotics and robots. Do you think people will have their own robot assistant in the years to come?
Absolutely. I think we're already seeing robots enter into our lives in a sort of quiet way. We don't notice it really. We have them, today in our household when it comes to, like, obviously at the very basic levels of, vacuum cleaners and lawnmowers. But now we're building these humanoid robots that are generalized, are able to do lots of different types of work. And like you said, the costs coming down, the capability of the hardware is there. And then we have an AI revolution happening, which means that you have the brain of the robot, which means that it's building its own capability.
I want to ask you about the AI revolution, but tell me, broadly speaking, how you're investing at Moonfire. Where do you see the growth in this economy right now?
Yeah, so
in terms of venture.
Yeah, so for us, I think the venture world is increasingly bifurcated. You're getting either very, very large firms, getting larger in terms of assets under management and so on, and they're doing extremely well. And then you have firms like ours that are very small and very focused and really working at the earliest stages. And that's what we're excited about. We're investing at the inception stage, those frontier technologies, and building the next generation of companies that will redefine our kind of society.
Have you wanted to do exits, but you can't because the Securities and Exchange Commission is closed? Have you seen an impact from the government shutdown?
Well, it's not good, is it? So we kind of want this to be resolved and we want people to move on. And there's already been, I think, over in 2025, there has been a holdback and there's sort of, it opened up and now it closes again. And I think we're hoping that 2026 that things open up again. It's good for the economy. It's good for everybody involved because we need that movement of capital. Whenever capital is stagnant, it means that it doesn't flow to places that needs it.
A lot of this excitement that you're talking about and how you're allocating capital has to do with AI.
Yeah.
And we had Jensen Huang on the program last week, CEO and founder of NVIDIA. And I asked him about all this money moving into AI to try to understand, I don't know, when are we going to see a return on investment from the trillions of dollars that he's expecting moving into this build out every year? Here's what he said. Watch this. Jensen, I want to get your take on all the money moving into the AI infrastructure build-out. How much are you expecting that to be, and will we see a return on investment in that money soon?
Artificial intelligence in the last year made some humongous breakthroughs. It is now effective, it's useful, it's generating really good results for users. It's impacting every single industry that we're observing. Everything from healthcare to, of course, enterprise computing, where we do work, and whether it's manufacturing, robotics, we're seeing breakthroughs in every industry. That platform shift is just beginning, and we're just seeing it so strong and accelerating because now fundamentally, finally, AI is delivering really great results. And it's the reason why we're seeing the fastest growing companies in the world.
Do you agree with that? I mean, are we going to see an ROI at some point soon?
Absolutely. I think we're already seeing it if you look at the numbers. This is not speculation, meaning that...
This is not .com.
Yeah, exactly. Where you had dark fiber and it wasn't used, right? Today, you're investing in those GPUs. They're being used at maxed out, to be honest. I mean, there probably will be a point where we will do overproduction. We're not in that space at all. And those people those companies that are financing this, they're sitting on lots of capital. They're generating cash flows of $300 billion a year, and they're taking it from that. Plus, they're sitting on cash balance sheets of $500 billion. So I would say at this moment in time, we shouldn't be overly concerned. We should continue to watch because at some point, yes, we might be getting over our skis, but I wouldn't say that we're there right now.
What do you make of what's going on with the board at Tesla? They're warning shareholders either pay Elon Musk the money or risk losing him.
Yeah.
Norway's $1.9 trillion sovereign wealth fund, one of Tesla's major investors, is rejecting Musk's pay package, which is astoundingly $1 trillion. And Norway calls it excessive and risky. Yeah. I can understand Norway saying that, by the way. Tesla shareholders will vote on the package tomorrow. A key test of investor confidence in Musk's leadership. Mattias, what does this mean for Tesla's future, and what do you think? I mean, have you ever heard of a $1 trillion compensation?
No, of course not. I mean, it's unbelievable in terms of a number, but it also shows the size and scale of what technology is building, that we're talking about these level of numbers that's having an impact globally. But yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be a difficult vote, I think, for lots of people, because there's obviously big principles at stake here. But he's an incredible person, and he's able to drive a lot of value, and he's also championing something, Optimus robots and seeing that as a future. And I think, you probably would need strong leadership to keep pushing that forward. But, I understand the predicament of those shareholders and the board, that this is a super difficult decision.
Let me get back to Moonfire. Let me ask you how long you invest, you stay in a company, and how long does that process take before you exit and get some returns for yourself? What's the process?
Yeah, so we go in at the earliest stage. So we're the first sort of institutional capital that goes in. So yeah, we have a longer time horizon, but I think if you look at great investments, they really compound there at the end. And so you don't really want to be making these types of investment and coming out too early. That doesn't mean, though, that we're not thoughtful and care about how we generate liquidity for our investors, and then be able, again, like I say, we need that movement of capital, right? We don't want it to be stagnant, so we can then invest in the next generation of founders. So it's about finding the right moment for us to maybe reduce a little bit of our exposure, particularly if a company has done multiples, even of our fund. We're like, okay, we'll take that money off the table. We'll use that to invest in the next generation.
Why do you like to invest in founders? Do you think founders govern differently than a hired hand? I'm hiring a CEO. I founded the company, but I'm going to hire somebody else to do it.
That's such a great question. I really do. I think that the way that I always picture it in my mind is that if you're investing in a hired hand, it's like a rental property that you're lending to somebody else, and they don't really mow the lawns in the evening, and they don't take care of the house. If you have a founder, they deeply believe in it, and they do whatever it takes. They eat glass ultimately to make it work. And the other thing with founders, too, is they have a different perspective. They're not the type of people that go on the normal path. They're looking to change the world around them rather than be molded to the world that we have today. And those are the type of people that are creating these extraordinary outcomes for us in technology and the rest of the economy.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that you invest in founders. Mattias, it's great to talk with you. Thanks so much for coming back.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you, Mattias, joining us this morning.